Just before I start off, as you can see, I'm the only IT vendor out here. It's not going to be a best practices session. I'm not going to be talking about any of the products that we sell. It's definitely not a pitch around our laptops, servers, storage solutions, software, etc. What I want to try and do today is I want to talk to you a bit more high level around innovation. And the next part of it is I want it to be as interactive as possible. I'm going to be asking questions, and I have a few giveaways here where I'm going to be, getting answers, and for whoever answers correctly is going to be getting one of these. So what I want to talk about today is first try and introduce and put into perspective what I do. And it's very simple. That's because I do believe that what I do is very innovative in every sense of the word. So when I come into office in the morning, I usually go into my laptop, and the first thing I look into is our P&L numbers, so profit and loss. And I start analyzing how we're doing in specific regions, specific markets. How can we penetrate new markets? Who would be the new customers we need to look into? Who are the channel partners that are bringing me a lot of revenue and a lot of business? Who is it that we want to focus on more? Which products do we want to take to market in a specific region? Etc., etc. That's very innovative in a way, because what we're doing is we're trying to predict the market. And we're trying to understand our customer behaviors so that we're well positioned to sell in the future. So that's very much medium to long term, and that's what I do. Before I continue, what I'd like to do is, you've been sitting here since 9:30 this morning, listening to innovation sessions. So if you were to sum up innovation for me in one word, what would that be? Any suggestion from the audience? Out of the box, great. Sorry? Your outcry, great. Creative, excellent, yeah. Any others? Foresight, excellent, yeah. Change, very good. Adapting to change, yeah.
New ideas.
Sorry, new?
New ideas.
New ideas, excellent, yeah.
I just said the word in my head, but I don't know if it's going to come out right. Ingenuity?
Well, yeah, perfect,
Magic.
great. Sorry?
Magic.
Magic, yeah, great. So I think, that's pretty much summing up everything we heard about in terms of innovation. But let me tell you what I did recently. I went through Office to our customers and to our partners, and I launched a survey, and I basically asked them about what they thought innovation was. And I'm going to tell you what the 3 key terms they came out with. So one of them was mentioned here, and that was creativity. The other one is breakthrough thinking. And the third one is ideas, creation, and brainstorming. I think it's important to look at these in terms of, innovation, but I'm going to take you now through what I believe innovation is. Let's look at this circle. This circle is actually yourselves, all of you SMEs, in this part of the world. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to take your product or your service to market. Now, how do you usually do that? It's very simple. The first thing you want to try and do is you want to sell your idea to customers, right? And you want to expand. You want to make sure you reach out to as many customers as possible. So what happens is, if customers are sold onto your idea, they're going to be coming to you, asking you for more of your products and solutions. And that's normal. That's the rule of the game. So the more customer-centric you are, the more you understand your customer, the better that overlap between you and the customer. But obviously, in the normal world, we do forget about someone that's very important that's out there, and that's competition. Why am I talking about competition here? That's basically because when, as SMEs, when we want to go into the market with a new idea, with a new concept, with a service and a product we're trying to sell, we often don't do much of research, maybe not necessarily yourselves here in the audience, but as per the research, there's not much done in terms of How do we compare with competition? Is this service available in the market? Is this product available in the market? Is it well priced compared to competition? So what usually happens in this situation is that you put yourself against rivals, you have similar products and solutions and services, you're positioning, it becomes a price war. So it's all about, who's going to be giving that service to the customer at a better price. So what's happening here is basically it's a bloodbath, or what I call a bloody ocean. And your revenue go down with time, your profits go down, your products become commoditized, and you do not differentiate. You are just like any other, company out there providing a service that everybody's fighting over, and it's very price competitive. What would you rather do? Wouldn't you rather focus on the customer and completely eliminate competition? I'm sure you do. And the way you would do that, basically, is exploring something called a blue ocean of business. Who is familiar with the blue ocean strategy here? Okay, great. I can see a lot of people heard about it. And that's that's a key terminology. I am a very big promoter of blue ocean strategy. It's something we've adopted at Dell. It's something our competitors in the market have adopted too. So the likes of IBM, HP, all of these big companies. Facebook has adopted it too. I know that for a fact. And it's all about going to new markets called uncontested markets, where you're actually positioning your products in a new market. It's a new product. You have no competition whatsoever, and you're being very creative about your idea. How is this going to help you? This is basically going to help you differentiate with the value you create to that customer ecosystem that you have in place. And it's obviously going to lead to healthy business. I have to tell you something. I was reading a survey also not a long time ago around entrepreneurs and startups in the UK. And 1 out of 3 startups go out of business in their first 3 years of operation. Why is that? I truly believe that a lot of it is linked to this. It's about the strategy. Where are they positioned? Which market are they going after? Who are the customers they're looking at? And how do they want to differentiate? It's very important when you're looking at any business you're trying to establish. Let me give you a couple of examples, because it's good to illustrate when we're talking about, deep concepts like this, which obviously I try to simplify as much as I can. One of them is Cirque du Soleil. Is everybody familiar with Cirque du Soleil? I guess you do. Okay, so Cirque du Soleil, and it's very interesting, what they did is they actually exploit a completely new market demand by introducing opera and ballet shows into their circus. And they eliminated star performers and animals, which they believed did not really make that big of a difference when, engaging with their audience and with the customers. So it was very beneficial for them. The company grew from 6 people that started it back in Canada up to around, I think, 1,500, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of performers, a lot of acts, touring around the world, etc., etc. So this is a great example of how this company actually used the blue ocean strategy to differentiate. Another one is Curves. I don't know if the ladies around here know about Curves. Curves is a health club, very similar to Fitness First. And what they do is they actually took health business to a different level. So what they did is they surveyed the market around how can they actually serve that female population that doesn't want to go to the gym, doesn't want to overdo, gym, go and sit for hours and have sessions of running and, yoga and Pilates, but would rather have that 30 minutes aerobic session and want to be healthy. So they did introduce a program around having these 30-minute sessions where you do everything, basically. It's like movements around, yourself, your body, working out your muscles, and at the same time, it's a lot of health advice around what you eat and what you need to do in order to be a fitter and a more healthy person. And that's paid out a lot, especially in the US. So Curves is doing really, really well in the US. A third one is Tata. I'm sure you know Tata as a company, and you've probably heard of the very innovative car that they've introduced to the Indian market a few years ago called the nano car. So I think the two innovative concepts that they had was, one, India was never a target market for cars because most people, ride bikes. Cars are very expensive. So it's targeting the Indian market with a car. And second is targeting it with a low-cost car. So it's the cheapest car you can find. And it's only tweaked and targeted to the Indian market. So again, that's another way of, innovating.